Good morning and welcome to Pittsburgh Mifflin School, Pre-K to 8. I would like to thank our esteemed guests, Senator Casey and Olivia Benson from the Mayor's Office with the youth programs, and also Keno Fitzpatrick from Age Plus Schools, as well as Teresa Calese, our board member, and also Assistant Superintendent David Maystein. My name is Edward Littlehell, and I am the principal here at Pittsburgh Mifflin. Today, we're honored to have Senator Casey here to address his School Safety Improvement Act. One of our middle school students and one of our parents will also address the issue of school safety at Mifflin. Keeping our schools safe is a collaborative effort that involves countless people. As a district, we need to be supportive and responsive to the daily challenges by subscribing to a shared responsibility model for preventing and responding to bullying. Our approach to bullying prevention is a process that includes the school and the community. At Mifflin, we created and implemented a comprehensive school-wide approach to preventing bullying. We, with the help of our dedicated school personnel and volunteer monitors, we have raised awareness and eliminated the culture of silence with respect to bullying. It is my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Parent School Community Council of the Anti-Bullying Subcommittee, as well as the PTA 2013 President's Choice Award Champion of Children winner, the man who is responsible for leading the difficult work of eliminating bullying here at Pittsburgh Mifflin Pre-K to 8, Mr. Latul Love.
Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that up, but I'll try. I'd like to say good morning. Before I begin, I would just want to thank Senator Casey and all the other officials who have come here today to Mifflin to visit us and to contribute to bringing in awareness to the bullying issues. I also like to give praise today to the many volunteers and who are many raised their hands. You can see them over there, and supporters that supports Mifflin efforts to stamp out the bullying. Well, my name is Atul, and my wife and I have 4 children here at Mifflin School. And about 3 years ago, there was an incident in the school with one of my children and who was bullied. And from that incident, my wife and I continued our involvement here at the school. We realized that our son was being bullied and that the attacks were impacting his school and his life. So we turned our attention to Mr. Littlehill, who's the principal of the school, and began to work with him and the other officials in the district to find out ways to stop the bullying. I'm not going to read this, I'm going to make it short. From that point, what has happened is parents throughout the school system here at Mifflin began to understand what bullying was. By us making them aware of the definition of bullying, we began to identify bullying incidents, and we began to identify ways of doing that. One of the problems that we had was that parents were not always professional in our way of doing things. So we reached out to A+ schools, and we became ambassadors as we got trained by A+ schools who taught us how to advocate and move forward in a professional manner. We brought on partners such as the Poor Law and Glen Hazel Citizens Association, Glen Hazel Resident Management Corporation, Center of Life, and other community and the YMCA all came here to the school to partner with Mifflin so that we can tie the efforts into not just on the school level, but take it out into community support as well. We went on, I won't go on to say all the programs that we developed here because it would take too long. But what I will say is that we have managed to bridge the gap between the parents and the teachers and to show and demonstrate what a true partnership looked like and what would happen if parents and teachers and the community come together and work together in a common cause. We are a good example of that. We know that parents are the key individuals in this effort to help our children because we all have a common cause from the district level to a local school to the community, which is to save our children, to provide a better education and safety for our children. So that's why we're here today, and we hope that you come back and learn all about our programs. Senator Casey just visited our Perk Center, and him and Chris, and I'm glad they was there, which is a parent educational resource center, and we want everybody to come back to Mifflin as we move on and embark on the new anti-bullying movement throughout the city of Pittsburgh. So with any further ado, let me introduce you to, or bring up here, the main speaker, which is Senator Casey. Oh, no, Caitlin. Oh, come on up here, Caitlin. I'm sorry, I thought. Caitlin is one of our students. She's been through the bullying program. She's going to be a graduate this year. She also has many talents that she's been sharing. She's going to be an actress and a singer and dancer. But she's also one of the members of our Safety Patrol program. She's one of our lead members. And I'm going to let her, in her own words, explain to you what you don't. Excuse me, Kate.
Thank you, Mr. Love, and thank you to Senator Casey for being here. I'm Caitlin Postella, and I'm an 8th grader here at Mifflin K-8, and I also serve as the organizer for our school safety patrol. We work to bring awareness to the issue of bullying in our schools so that students can feel safe to report bullying and to stop it. We plan anti-bullying activities such as our anti-bullying plays, and also this year we held a play. Our principal, teachers, and staff work together to create an environment where we can feel safe so that just the distraction of bullying is no longer there, so that we can focus on our academics. And thank you, and now I'd like to bring up Senator Casey.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Caitlin. You did that well.
Very good.
And I know that Mr. Love gave you a long list of things you're going to do in your future. If you do one of them well, we'll be really proud of you. But if you do all three or all four, we'll be even prouder. But thank you for getting us started and for your introduction. Mr. Love, I want to thank you. Principal Littlehill, we're grateful to be here today. And ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk to everybody in the room, but especially the students, about an issue that I think you know a good bit about already, so I don't have to tell you about it. But I wanted to give you a sense of what this means across the whole country. Now, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and a lot of people in this room are, virtually everyone. I won't ask for a show of hands. I know everyone is. Heinz Field, I don't know the exact attendance numbers at Heinz Field, or capacity numbers they call them, but you can fit about 60,000 fans into a Pittsburgh Steelers game if the stadium is full. 60,000 people. That's a big crowd, and we know what it looks like on television or if you're there in person. But that's the number of students every day in America, according to one study, who don't go to school because of bullying or harassment of some kind. Now, that's an awful lot of people. Even if you took everyone in a Heinz Field crowd and spread them across the country, it's still an awful lot of people. And one of the reasons we're here today to talk about bullying and harassment is that it's a problem across the country. It's a problem in western Pennsylvania. It's a problem in my home area of northeastern Pennsylvania, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Philadelphia, wherever you go in the state, but actually wherever you go in America. It doesn't really matter where you are. This is a problem for all of us. And I know in the middle of a week, but maybe especially at the end of a week on a Friday, everyone here works hard. You're studying, you're going to school, you're getting up early, and it's cold in the morning, and you're busy. And I mean, put your hand up, and I'll put my hand up first if you sometimes get a little tired during the week. All right? Sometimes do you feel a little nervousness or being anxious about your work or about a test or a quiz? I'm like that today, and when I was in 6th grade, I was as well. So all of us, whether we're in school or working, whatever we're doing, you have challenges during the week, right? You can get tired, you have some stress, and you get nervous. You have things you have to get done, you have to meet deadlines. But just imagine, and some students here understand this better than I do, but just imagine, in addition to all the schoolwork you have to do and all the challenges you have during the week, that on top of all that, I'm just going to leave that paper there, it keeps falling. On top of all of that, you have to deal with someone who's bullying you or harassing you. Sometimes physically, they might be hitting you physically, or they might just be making fun of you or denigrating what you're doing. And then you go home, and they can in a sense follow you home, whether it's on Facebook or any other way that somehow they can kind of go after you and make you a target. And words can hurt sometimes as much as anything else. And so what we're trying to do is to figure out a way to have not just parents and adults and government be part of the solution, but mostly what we're trying to do is to make sure that you're part of the solution. Now, the good news at this school, at Pittsburgh Mifflin, is that you're already doing that. Students are involved. You've got parents who are involved. A lot of work being done. And the message I'm trying to deliver is we need more schools to focus on this problem just like you have. And I know just by focusing on it doesn't go away, right? None of us have a magic wand like there is in television shows where you can do something and a problem goes away in the half hour of that show or a 1 hour show. That's not like real life. But I think in the end, if we're really going to deal with this problem, it's going to be because of what you do. Students play the biggest role. And we need students to speak up and speak out. We need you to, when you see bullying, if you don't think that, and I know this is hard. When I was in school, I'm not sure I always had the courage every day to walk up to someone if they were not being nice to someone and say you shouldn't do that. But if you can't do that, if you can't go directly to the bully and say stop doing that, or I saw you doing that and I'm going to report you, then figure out a way to tell a parent or a teacher or someone here at the school. That's one way you can help. The other thing we try to emphasize is if you can't deal with the bully, at least try to show some support for the person that is the victim of bullying. Patting them on the back, talking to them, saying, we'll try to get you some help, or you're my friend, or I know people that care about you. And that's something all of us can do, right? None of us can just say, well, it's not my problem, I'm just going to stay away from it. All of us have to play a role. Now, one thing I'm trying to do is pass a bill in Congress, in Washington, in the U.S. Senate. And I'm a Democrat, and sometimes if you have a bill and it's only on your side of the street, so to speak, you need to figure out a way to get the other party involved. So I have a partner in this. His name is Mark Kirk from Illinois. He's a Republican U.S. Senator. I'm a Democratic U.S. Senator. We're working together with others in the Senate to pass a bill. What will the bill do? It's really kind of simple, and frankly, more bills should be this simple if we can make it that way. We're just trying to encourage as many schools to get involved as you all have. And here's what the bill does. It does basically three things. It first of all says that we're going to put in writing, as schools like yours have done, in one way or another, put in writing that bullying is not going to be tolerated. So we're saying that schools have to act to prohibit bullying. So the first word is prohibit, right, in a rule book or code of conduct. So we're going to have rules and prohibit bullying. But that's not enough. Because secondly, what we want to try to do, and actually this should be maybe first, is to prevent it from happening in the first place. So the second word is prevention. And the third part of the bill is just to keep records, right? If we know that bullying is happening a lot in this school, but not as much in this other school, there might be a reason for that. So we want to keep good records when you have an incident so that you can track it and make sure that the bully is held accountable. So it's about having rules and prohibiting. It's about prevention, getting everyone involved, as you have here, parents, teachers, and students. And finally, it's about keeping good records. And if we can pass a bill like this and make sure that everyone knows we don't want to tolerate this any longer, that it's wrong to do this, that frankly, in my judgment, if you're a bully, you're kind of a coward, right? I mean, you're picking on someone who is somehow either weaker than you are or doesn't have the ability to fight back. So I don't think that's anything other than being a coward okay? And some people may not like hearing that, but I'm going to say it anyway. So we have to prohibit it, we have to try to prevent it, and we have to keep good records. And that's what we're trying to do. But you know what? Even if we pass this bill, and it'll be difficult to pass a bill like this because it takes a long time, but even if we pass it, that won't be enough. The main player here, to use a sports analogy, the main player on the field is you. The work that you can do as individuals to talk to your friends, to talk about this issue, and just to say, you know what, we shouldn't be doing this if you know someone involved, and to try to just, convince them not to be engaged in bullying. So we need your help, even if we pass the bill. But between now and the time that a bill is passed, we really need your help, because you're the ones who are going to be able to prevent it. So that's why we're here today, really to talk about the issue, to talk about things we can do about it, but also to thank you for what you've already done.